For every task, there exists the perfect tool. So it would come as no surprise that ARKS would have mech suits as part of its extensive arsenal. Here, we aim to explore the settings, characters, creatures, and armaments of the PSO2 universe, their context within the Phantasy Star franchise, and any possible parallels with the real world. You know who I am? But if you don't, my name is Zio, and I'll be your lore keeper. Today, we're getting in the robot and peering inside the cockpit of the mighty A.I.S. So what does that crazy acronym even mean? Well, A.I.S. stands for ARKS Interception Silhouette. So, how did these things come into service, besides the game developers needing an excuse to add in giant robots? The remote mining bases on the desert planet of Lilipa are home to precious natural resources. Naturally, it would make them a prime target for false spawn. The intensity of these attacks had begun to ramp up over time, and ARKS needed a new way of dealing with these threats. This sounds like a job for the Central Research Division. Their solution? A large, heavily armored, yet surprisingly nimble, humanoid mech suit. The pilot enters and exits through a hatch on the back of the unit. While inside, the pilot is protected by its heavily armored head section, with the visor doubling as a window. The A.I.S. cuts an imposing figure and is 10 meters of false spawn busting power, so let's take a look at some of that artillery. As a heavily armored combat suit, its arsenal is about what you would expect. The standard weapon loadout of the A.I.S. supports both long-ranged and close-quarters combat. In its right hand is the Solid Vulcan, your standard assault rifle, capable of firing an infinite number of high-caliber bullets, ideal for dispatching smaller targets. The rifle can attach to an underbarrel on the back of the unit to unleash either a salvo of rockets or a devastating laser beam. Should the enemy get too close, the A.I.S. can cut them down with its massive photon saber. Despite its bulky appearance, the A.I.S. is not lacking in mobility. The thrusters on its back and its legs allow it to dash around any battlefield with ease. These armaments can be modified, making A.I.S. units incredibly adaptable. An example of this would be on the planet Earth, where the Phantom battleship Yamato would appear over the Pacific Ocean to attack Tokyo. ARKS would mobilize a squadron of A.I.S. units to deal with this threat. These units would have an upgraded thruster module allowing for sustained flight. They also had heavy-duty freezing rounds, which froze the battleship in place, allowing ARKS operatives to advance on foot. But the Yamato would break free of its icy prison and descend to the skies, prompting ARKS ground units to retreat and re-engage in their A.I.S. units for one final showdown. Each unit would also be equipped with a repair module, healing not only the user, but any other A.I.S. units nearby. Another variant, called the Vega, was developed for deep space combat and had its own unique set of tools in addition to the standard gun and sword. Not only did it have thrusters tailored for maneuvering in zero gravity, it also had a shield which could deflect oncoming enemy fire. While A.I.S. are designed as anti-false spawn weapons, that doesn't make them immune to false spawn corruption themselves. For missions involving false spawn, they aren't meant to be used long-term. Since the rise in popularity of mecha anime, fans have often wondered if giant robots would be the next frontier in armed combat. As cool as it may sound, the laws of physics will have to answer that with a resounding no. There's just too much to account for, making them untenable in any situation with our current technology. Like what you just watched? Well, smash that like button, smash it like you mean it. And if you haven't already, do the same with that subscribe button and that notification bell. And of course, share with your friends. That tells YouTube to put this content out in front of more people. Set that algorithm on fire. As always, thanks for watching.